Hi everyone, Lior is here with another Jumpstart Lightning episode, and today I'm excited to have my colleague and friend Buck Woody to talk to me about the new learning models for Azure Arc-enabled data services. Stay tuned, let's do this. Hey everyone, Lior is here with another Jumpstart Lightning episode. Today I'm thrilled to have my friend and colleague Buck Woody to talk to me about Azure Arc-enabled data services and the new learning models. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Lior. Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing great. I was very excited to talk to you. You and I have been engaged for a while, had a lot of things going on internally, and I can't wait to share that with the Jumpstart audience. So happy to have you here.
Yeah, good to be here.
Buck, first thing first, for those of you who don't know you, not sure who they are, but for those of you that don't know you, tell the audience who you are and what is it that you do.
Yeah, I'm a data scientist here at Microsoft. And so I've had a lot of roles, been here about 16 years, and worked in the SQL org, and I've worked as a consultant, and I've worked in Microsoft research for a while, and in machine learning and artificial intelligence. And then for the last 3 years, I've been over here at the SQL Server org again, working on a lot of the deeper training and knowledge that we pass out to sort of the higher end, the deeper stuff that we do inside SQL Server and the cool things you can do with SQL Server. I handle a lot of the machine learning and data science stuff, never too far though from regular old everyday relational database management systems. So we do a lot of that sort of deep training.
Yeah. The audience, they don't know how you and I got engaged, which is something that we will share with them throughout this episode. I really want to just get into it, Buck, and ask you a bunch of questions regarding the latest stuff that you've been involved in when it comes to teaching. I know that you are like a teacher persona. I know that you are working with universities and colleges and all that. And for me, someone that is looking to, I always said that if I wasn't in tech, I was probably doing something with teaching.
Yeah.
And I just want to, kind of ask you, what is the latest stuff that you've been working on with regards to teaching, and specifically with the technology that you and I so love?
Yeah. So, it's been quite a journey. And the first part of it is we had this site that we set up, Bob Ward, myself, and Anna Hoffman. I'm sure you know her from Channel 9.
Yep.
And it's over at aka.ms/SQL workshops. And if you scroll up and down there, you can see that we've put out quite a few courses on SQL Server, on big data clusters, on all kinds of stuff that we put out, a lot of in-depth stuff. And we did all this on GitHub, and it's made to do three things. The first is you can take the training all by yourself. You could just go to this site, start clicking on links and doing the work. The second thing is we have some folks that are actually teaching this online, not just myself, Bob, or Anna. We've made this available for any of our technical folks, even people who don't work at Microsoft, to be free to test and work with this content. And then the third thing was, back in the before times, we actually traveled around the world. I mean, from South Africa to Germany to all over the place, US, all over the place, Canada, teaching these courses. Bob, Anna, and myself would go for 4 days of training our partners, our customers, our internal folks around the world using these materials. And so when we got to kind of back online only, Bob Ward talked to me and said, hey, Buck, we're going to do this thing on Azure Arc. And of course, Azure Arc is our hybrid play. We'll talk about that a little bit more. That allows you to get some of the goodness of Azure, but on a Kubernetes location of your choice, either on-prem, over in a competitor's cloud like Google or Amazon, or even on your own Kubernetes clusters. But you get all kinds of things, SQL managed instance and Postgres, hyperscale, and all kinds of things. And so we need to explain this because it's not simple to do. It's not hard to do, but there's a lot of things you need to know. And so we thought, hey, let's work with our friends over at Microsoft Learn, because they've got a great set of tools. And we created a learning module. And this learning module is fantastic. We give you an introduction, and Lior's showing you this here. It leads you through. You can sign in. There's questions. It tells you how long. It's not heavy duty. Won't take you a long time to work with it. But when you log in, you'll get badges, and it tracks your learning. It's a really
Yeah.
great way to learn. But, as we were going and doing this, I said, Bob, they really need to do hands-on. As I'm telling them to click on things, I can describe it all I want, but there's no substitute for, playing the piano by playing the piano. So how do we do this? And he said, I got a guy for you. His name's Lior. I said, Lior? And I know that guy. That's the Funko Pop guy. And he's like, what's a Funko Pop? And I'm like, don't worry about it. It's complicated. And so he gave you a call. He gave me a call. We got on a call together, and Lior said, have I got a solution for you?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of funny because it was kind of taking a step back to, what you share around traveling the world and really doing by teaching. That's kind of the one thing that I really miss about this all virtual world that we live in. I'm not a fan of airplanes, but I definitely a fan of, of meeting people and do this stuff. And as I was going through the SQL workshop stuff and also the learning models that we had conversations around, I thought to myself, I can relate to that so much. These are the things that also makes me going. From my perspective, I like to make other people awesome by creating content. And I wanted to ask you, Buck, as you are sharing our collaboration when it comes to the Jumpstart project and how you thought of that, I want to ask you a bit about the sausage making of creating such a learning model that is super comprehensive, right? And how potentially you guys thought about the Jumpstart as you are doing that, and also what did you thought about the challenges of the potential people that will take this course? Can you share with me some of these sausage making details?
Absolutely. So whenever we think about pedagogy, which is the science of teaching, and that's a little bit of my background is in this science of teaching. I've taught at schools, I've taught at colleges and other locations as well. And I've taught professionally, and it's part of what I do here now is teaching. Well, whenever you do this, it's really not hard and it's really complicated to teach someone something. The first thing you need to know is, what do you want them to learn? That's pretty important to tell them, say, okay, I need you to be able to do these things, or I need you to be able to know these things, or I need you to be able to understand these things. Those are different sort of goals, right? So we think about, what do they need to know? Their targets. What are the rubrics? What are the I can do statements that we need to make when they're finished with this training? And after we started that, we said, Bob would say, okay, I can install this product. I can understand when I would use this product. I can restore a database. I can delete a table, and so on. When you think of those, now you work backwards. And then you have to ask yourself the next question: what do you already know how to do? So if I were teaching Lior something, I would say, hey, do you know how to go surfing here in Tampa, Florida? And Lior might say, yeah, I don't do a lot of surfing.
Probably not.
Don't do a lot of surfing. And I'm like, okay, let me ask you this. Have you ever had a skateboard? And you're like, oh yeah, man, back when I was a kid, I used to skateboard all the time. Now I know where you need to be: balance, turning, weight control, and so on to surf. And I know the things you already know how to do. You already know how to balance. You already know how to shift your weight to make a turn, and so on. Now I can get the difference. That's the key, right? So if I'm here in my home and I need to get to downtown Tampa, I know where I need to be and I know where I am. And now I just need to figure out the steps to get there. And so we look at the modality, and this one's online. So as we begin to lay in these modules, well, it just made sense to take a look at the Jumpstart that your team and you created to do that. And I'm like, well, hey, here's a great place for them to actually go and start touching the product as they go. Because when you teach someone something, I can explain all kinds of things, and I can show you architecture diagrams, and I can give you lists, and I can tell you concepts and things you need to understand. But if I do that on that piano over there and you never touch the piano, it's going to be really hard for you to learn to play the piano. You might know how to play the piano, but you won't be able to play the piano until you can touch it. And this is where the Jumpstart comes in. So as we were building the course, I'm thinking, aha, here's where they can go do that. Here's where they can go do that. So it's a really good pairing to have this learning module and also have the Jumpstart available to get you started. Because the Jumpstart's great at launching you out the door. The module is great at making sure you understand what to do with it once you're out the door.
Yeah, and you know, I remember the initial conversations that we had when you guys started building or thinking about, even not building, thinking about the learning model. And I remember that crazy OneNote that Bob and you put together. And I was looking at this and I thought to myself, you know, each and every section that these guys are working on, we can help with. We can help with the people that will actually go by and do this type of learning models, because eventually they will, yes, you're teaching them how the car is being built and here's the engine and all that, but we can help them actually, you know, enter the car, start the engine and get going. I really think that that's something that we were able to complement one another when it comes to these types. Yeah. Okay. So, you know, Bob, I mean, to kind of maybe wrap things up, what do you think is the best way to reach out to you, to reach out to the team? What do you suggest for people to do as they want to move forward with this and with this new, crazy, exciting technology that is Azure Arc?
So I recommend you start with that learning module, and then of course the Jumpstart. Those two are pretty obvious, right, that you do that. The next thing I recommend is you watch this channel and keep up with what Lior is working on, because he's baked into this pretty heavy. And then the third thing I'd recommend is you check out the Data Exposed series. And you can find that all over the place. It's on Channel 9, but you can find it on YouTube, Twitch, other places that Anna Hoffman streams. And she's had absolutely tons of folks on for Azure Arc. One of the very first things we do inside the learning module is explain what hybrid computing is. Not even Microsoft, not even Azure Arc, none of that, just what's hybrid computing. So we cover some real foundational basics for you. And then you can go much further by watching Lior and Anna and the folks that she brings on Data Exposed.
And, you know, you, me, Anna, and Denajay from the Data Product Group, we had a chance to do this fun episode together that we were, you know, that we were simulating. You were actually simulating a customer, and we were kind of jumping in and have a conversation with you. So that's something that we're definitely going to share in the link below.
That was a lot of fun. And for folks folks watching right now, what we did was I acted like I didn't know Anna, and I called her show and said, hey, I have a customer here on the line. Can you help me out? And she's like, we're in the middle of a show. Let me get Denajay and Lior. And I brought you guys in. I'm like, hey, can you help this guy? And we went through. It was really great. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And I recall wore DJ glasses and his hat backwards.
DJ. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. And you know, to kind of give another shameless plug to Anna and what she did, what I was kind of researching before kind of launching this Jumpstart Lightning show a few months back, I took a lot of closer look on what Anna is doing and what Scott is doing and other people from our ecosystem to really understand kind of how to approach this. Obviously, we all have our own language to do this type of stuff in our own style. But I think that the one thing that I really like about this Azure Arc set of people, I want to say, and there's a lot of people involved, is that all of us know one another, and also we have a chance to really complement each other's work. It's not, I know it sounds like simple, but it's really not. It's
not. Yeah, that's right.
And that's something that, you know, I really like. So, hey, listen, Buck, you know, thank you so much for coming to the show. I appreciate it so much for for the viewers that wants to keep seeing this type of Jumpstart Lightning show, we will ask you to subscribe, hit the bell button, know that when we are releasing a new Jumpstart Lightning episode, and also this is part of our YouTube channel where we are releasing new demos every month. So and obviously we'll share the MS Learn and the SQL workshops links and the data exposed show, and obviously the Jumpstart is part of it. Again, Buck, thank you so much for coming to the show. I appreciate it so much, and we will see you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.